debater from Team Aughts, Isabel Hagen!
Thank you so much. Thanks for being here. In support of the Aughts, I think you'll find at the end of this. The Aughts, the beginning of a new millennium, a real time of hope. The 80s, the end of the 20th century, really they just dressed like they were running out of ideas, like it was the end of the century. They're like, what if we made our hair big? I don't know. Yeah, 80s fashion was a bigger disaster than if Y2K had happened. And it didn't. So, one more point for the Aughts, right? The 80s doesn't hold a candle, sorry, 16 candles. To the Aughts, the time of the OC, Shaggy, and the Atkins diet. You remember the Atkins diet? Right? It's great. What a time. Food trends were just bigger and better in the Aughts. If the movie The Breakfast Club had been made in the 2000s, it wouldn't have been about a bunch of unloved high school losers in detention. It would have been about what we really wanted to see. Breakfast. Tell me I'm wrong. But, sure, the 80s had the band Aha, but never an aha moment that shoulder pads were ugly. I guess they were necessary for when people needed a shoulder to cry on for how much their decade sucked. Hi, 80s is the Aughts calling from our cell phones. You'd be better off using the cord from your landlines as a scrunchie. Or to hang yourself. Now, you could argue that Whitney Houston's I Want to Dance with Somebody was a real gem and made the 80s superior, but I mean, what a needy song. She wants someone to dance with, and they have to love her? Lady, you can't have it all. Unless you lived in the Aughts, and then you could. You could have called someone on your cell phone and arranged for them, if they loved you, to meet you at that dance. Or you could have skipped the dance altogether and played Snake. Remember Snake? Yes. Did you like it? My point exactly. Now, one could argue that, the Aughts were worse because cell phones prevent us from real human connection. But does anyone want to make eye contact, really? I don't think so, especially not in the 80s. How could you look at someone's face when their sleeves are so puffy? And speaking of avoiding eye contact with real people, I'd like to talk about something that was really wonderful in the Aughts, which was the beginning of porn being able to be streamed. I don't need to say much about this subject, but I will just point out that it caused less sexual frustration, more productivity, and therefore more porn. Another perk of the Aughts, further away from the Holocaust. I think we can all agree this is a good thing. Sure, the Aughts had 9/11, but the 80s had jazzercise. And now, a musical demonstration of the Aughts' superiority. One moment, please. It was worth waiting for, just like the Aughts was. So first, the Aughts. And now the 80s. The Aughts. My point. Thank you so much. And to the 80s, I'll leave you with this one phrase from a hit show in the Aughts. You are the weakest link. Goodbye.